This meeting is being held in compliance with the Brown Act. SCAG offices are open for members of the public to attend and participate in person. Instructions for providing public comment have been provided in advance and are also included in the agenda packet. If a member of this body is attending remotely but is not at a location specified on the agenda, they may observe and comment as a member of the public, but may not participate in any member discussion or voting of this body. For all members participating remotely, please ensure your microphone is muted when not in use. Please state your name during deliberations and whether making a motion or offering a second. Any voting member or member of the public calling into this meeting by telephone can press *6 to mute and unmute. All telephone participants should identify themselves prior to speaking. SCAG encourages all members of the public to participate in its meetings. We are committed to holding meetings accessible to people with disabilities. For members of the public requiring ADA accommodation, please call 213-630-1410. SCAG offers free interpretation services for members of the public needing information in another language. Please call 213-236-1895. The meeting will now begin.
Has told me we have a quorum. So if I could possibly get our first Vice President, Ray Marquez, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand. And be ready. Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All righty. Do we have any public comments right now? I'm seeing none.
And Chair, if
We have any on? Oh, I will get that. I want to introduce Michael Maurer. He's going to be our legal today, so he has an announcement to make.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to note on the record, I believe we do have one member attending online pursuant to an ADA accommodation, and that would be member Nikki Perez. And if the members online, just as a reminder, please keep the camera and video on during the meeting for the ADA accommodation. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. So I'll go back to public comments. Any public comments? Any online? Okay. Then we'll move right along. Have we received any public comments by mail or email? Okay. We don't have any people that want to speak right now. All right. I will now close the public comment period for matters not listed on the agenda and move us into consent and action items. Do we have any go into the consent calendar? We have seven. What do we have? Seven items on consent. Does anybody wish to pull any of the consent items? All right. Nobody online? All right. And could I get a motion for consent items?
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Right. Motion and a second.
Hernandez made the motion.
So we don't have our little voting things today, so we're going to do it by voice.
Zia Lahir,
Yes.
Javier Mez.
Maybe we'll just get a good answer here. Mr. Secretary,
Pardon me, let's, Javier Amezcua, please.
Aye.
Thank you. And Deb Andrade. Phil Becerra,
Aye.
Ryan Bayless,
Aye.
Ryan Berkson, Jeanette Burns, Denise Delgado, John Dutray,
Yes.
Bubba Fish, John Gabbard,
Yes.
Jason Gibbs, William Go,
Yes.
Kurt Hagman, Jan Harnick,
Yes.
Laura Hernandez,
Aye.
Lauren Hughes Leslie,
Aye.
Heather Hutt, Mike Judge,
Yes.
Fred Jung,
Fred Jung, aye.
Trish Kelly,
Yes.
Lauren Kleiman,
Yes.
Linda Krupa,
Yes.
Andrew Laura, Carlos Leon, Bridget Lewis, Richard Loa, Clint Lowermore, Steve Manos, Ray Marquez,
Yes.
Larry McCallan,
Yes.
Marcia McLean, Tim McOsker, Linda Molina,
Yes.
Carol Moore,
Carol Moore present.
Zizette Mullins,
Yes.
Juan Munoz Guevara, Ara Najarian,
Yes.
Frank Navarro,
Yes, and also to let the council know that I am also attending via an ADA accommodation.
thank you. Nikki Perez,
Yes, and also attending via ADA accommodation.
thank you. David Reddy, Gil Mark, Ed Reese, Ed Reese, Gabrielle Reyes, Crystal Ruiz,
Yes.
Ali Saleh,
Saleh's a yes.
Steve Sanchez, Tim Sandoval,
Yes.
Zach Schwank,
Yes.
Emma Sharif, Assam Sheikh, Marty Siminoff, Jeremy Smith,
Henry Smith is an aye.
thank you. Ward Smith,
Yes.
Hilda Solis, Wes Speak,
Aye.
Karen Spiegel, Cynthia Sternquist, Butch Twining, Steve Ty, Bill Uphoff,
Yes.
Michael Vargas,
Yes.
Scott Boytz, Donald Wagner, Colleen Wallace,
Yes.
Alan Wapner, Thomas Wong, Zen Wu. Mr. Chair, the motion passes 35 in favor and 0 against.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to move on to action items. We're going to move on to action item number 8. And can I have Mariana Udillo come up to give this item? I said that right.
Okay, here we go. Good morning, Chair and committee members. This item is on the 2024 Solutions for Congested Corridors program which is administered by the California Transportation Commission, or CTC. The Solutions for Congested Corridor Program, or SCCP, was developed under Senate Bill 1 and supports multimodal projects that relieve congestion, enhance mobility, and deliver environmental and community benefits along California's busiest corridors. SCAG, as the applicant, in partnership with Metrolink as the implementing agency, first submitted the Sustainable Locomotives Replacement Project for SCCP funding in the 2022 grant cycle. While that grant was not awarded, SCAG and Metrolink resubmitted the grant for the 2024 cycle and received a grant award for the full amount requested of $52.6 million. This investment will replace 12 Tier 2 locomotives with Tier 4 locomotives, which is the cleanest diesel technology currently available. The project will improve reliability and reduce harmful emissions. Today, staff is requesting that the Transportation Committee recommend that the Regional Council approve receipt of the SCCP grant award and authorize the Executive Director or his designee to execute all necessary agreements and related documents in coordination with Metrolink and Caltrans. As next steps, SCAG will work with Metrolink and Caltrans to prepare the baseline agreement, which is expected to go before the CTC in December. And this will allow the grant funds to be secured. So this is an important milestone in securing those funds. SCAG will also work with Metrolink to develop a memorandum of understanding to define the roles and responsibilities. And I'd also like to clarify an item on the staff report in the fiscal impact section. Please note that the correct SCCP grant amount is $52,606,000, not $25,606,000 as previously noted. And now to provide additional background and details on this project, I'd like to introduce Lisa Colicchio, Director of Sustainability with Metrolink. She'll be providing this morning's presentation. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I thought it'd be helpful if we first begin by giving you an overview of our locomotive fleet, our current today. On the left, you see we have 40 Tier 4 engines already in our fleet. This represents 75% of our total locomotive fleet. And those were delivered through 2017 through 2021. And then moving to the right, we have 15 Tier 2 locomotives. Those were delivered between 2008 and 2009. And then finally, we have about 5 F59 PHRs, and those were older diesel units, but they have been repowered to Tier 2 in 2009. So it gives you more of an overview of what our existing fleet is today. And we developed a climate action plan several years ago that charts a path towards zero emissions future for Metrolink. And one of the very first items that we wanted to tackle that was readily available is making the switch to renewable diesel and getting rid of all the fossil fuels in our fleet. And this was very significant because 95% of Metrolink's total carbon footprint is solely attributed to the fuel that we're using in the locomotives. So it was a very bold leap. We were actually the first in the nation to make this switch. And so our locomotives are operating on 100% natural oils, no petroleum products. This helps to reduce our GHG emissions, our greenhouse gas emissions, by up to 80%. And then moving on, I would like to walk through a little bit on our procurement. And so once we transitioned to the renewable fuel, the next move and how we wanted to raise the bar is to put more Tier 4 engines and replace our older fleet of the Tier 2s. Those are, as you've heard and well know, that the Tier 4 engine is the cleanest burning diesel available today. And so, and reduces the maximum available through criteria pollutants and particulate matter. So it's very important that we have the highest, cleanest engines in our fleet. So this walks us through the funding that we were able to have together for our next award on we're making those replacements of the tier 2s. So the first line item, we have 10.7 in member agency funds. And then the next line item, we are working with AQMD and staff is working closely to finalize the details, but we could be awarded up to 87.4 million. And then, of course, finally, with the solutions for congested corridors at 52.6 million. We're, of course, very grateful to the support we've had from SCAG that helped us to win that award. We've now a total of 150.7 million. And staff believes with the current pricing on Tier 4 engines, that would help us to secure and procure up to 12 locomotives. I do want to also draw and make a reference here. When we are working with AQMD, and once those Tier 2s are replaced, our goal is to keep those in our maintenance facility so that we can look for opportunities. We won't be operating them, but we think it's a prime opportunity to maybe partner with universities, and it's an amazing test bed for zero emissions or retrofit kits. So that could be hydrogen fuel cell or battery fuel cell, but we think that, keeping and retaining those for future pilot demonstrations would really be helpful towards, getting us and advancing the industry on zero emissions. And then I just want to walk you through the procurement timeline. So once we could get the CTC funding, we expect that by June 2026. We are going to have an RFI as well as RFP process. We expect to go to the board in May of 2028. And then, the procurement is quite long. These are all bespoke, and so they're made to order. And we believe our estimate is that the first locomotive would be delivered in 2030, with the remaining then through the 12 locomotives, February of 2032. And so that concludes the presentation and overview. I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right. Thank you very much for that presentation. Do we have any members of the public that wish to speak on this item now? None online? All right. Then I'll entertain comments from members of the Transportation Committee. Go with Jan first.
Thank you. I have a really basic question, and this is great. I love to see it happen, and I love that my $5 ticket from San Bernardino to here was reduced to $4.75. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Metrolink. Here's my basic question. You spoke of on the Tier 4 that they use natural oils versus petroleum. What does natural oils mean? I don't know that.
So it's not that all Tier 4, those are actually diesel engines. So,
Okay.
Just like a diesel truck or any other engine, it uses diesel fuel, which is petroleum and fossil fuel.
Okay.
However, renewable diesel is a clean burning renewable fuel. And so it does not have fossil fuels or petroleum products in it. So it reduces emissions. And it's made up of natural fats and vegetable oils.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. Next is John Gebert.
Thank you. I'm looking at the operating statement for Metrolink, and the operating revenues are over the last 11 months are about 60 million with almost 279 million of expenses. what happens if you just take the 12 offline? It's 24 or 23% of the operating fleet, if I'm doing the math right. So why not just take, if the tier 2 are so bad for the environment, why not just take them offline and try to balance your operating expenses?
Well, we need those tier 2 to in our fleet. We're using them all the time, every day. And with the Olympics coming.
Yeah, but the riders aren't using it.
I mean, I'm from the sustainability department, so I'm not in the operations. I'm probably not the best person to respond to your question. I'm sorry, but I do know that they're used all the time, and in service. So they absolutely need all those locomotives.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Supervisor Spiegel.
I can answer or address that. We've got a couple of our board members here. First off, to an agency that is overwhelmingly requested additional fleet to take 12 off, we'll take them all from your area. It's what I'm saying is that we don't have enough. We're pushing public transportation, and yet we're not building up the fleet. This is a way to make that transformation into the new Tier 4. We started that back in 2000 or just before 2000 on the first round of Tier 4. It takes a long time to accumulate money. It takes a long time to have them build and restore them. It took us an excessive amount of time because we were on the cutting edge. We were the first agency to go to Tier 4. We are now the first agency to make the commitment for additional Tier 4. So when you're talking about taking off just 12 and at a time, particularly with the Olympics coming up and there's more demand and working with the LA 28, there is wanting more trains. In fact, we're looking around other agencies to borrow them. No one has Tier 4 that they would lend us. We would get Tier 2s from other agencies. So we are comparable. They're not horrible. That's what everybody else is using. We're just always ahead. Metrolink's made that commitment to be more environmentally friendly and to do the cutting edge as far as making the entire fleet, which will take a long time because you see the process, the cost, as well as the time for the processing and then the putting together the cars. So when you talk about that, there's just no way to reduce 23% of our fleet, particularly at a demand time of when we're trying to push more people. As California keeps growing, which we all know with our arena numbers, we have to be building more. And the more people that are here, the more demand. And we're trying to push them into public transportation. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You really need to offer those opportunities.
If I may, Chair, just to follow up.
Sure.
I understand all of that. Just the question really is, the expenses are exceeding operating revenues by 5x. So it's 5 times more expensive than the amount of ridership that you actually have. And it's a lot of tax dollars. So is there a better way? And should Metrolink look at a different model in order to operate? Because it's just frightfully expensive and the public just isn't using it as much as the expenses indicate.
There's many factors, and we could certainly talk offline. You take away those 12 and put down 23%, you will reduce the fleet probably close to 50% because you will lose ridership from all over because they won't be able to make their connections. So it sounds very simple to take 12 out, but what you're going to do is even reduce the ridership more so because you don't have enough lines. Right now, we don't even have enough routes, lines that people can get from point A to their point B because everybody has a different destination. And so we really have to. RCTC is 100% behind this. One of the 5 agencies that are on there. It is what it is. And believe me, I particularly was as strong as you were about public transportation until I sat on Metrolink for the last long time and see that there is benefit. And the more we keep offering, the more it is used. We are having some challenges, not just within our agency, but BNS F and P, UP. We're having a lot of delays, a lot of challenges that we're trying to work out with the other trains on the lines. And that is a challenge that we're having to deal with. And we just need to get the ridership feeling the commitment and the reliability. And so that's what our goal is.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next is Don Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I find myself in agreement with a lot of the sentiment expressed by Mr. Gabbard here. And I appreciate the defense of Metrolink, but a lot of what I hear doesn't really defend Metrolink. The truth is ridership has been declining since before COVID. All of our transportation entities have seen that, but it hasn't come back up. And yes, we've got the Olympics coming in a while, but remember, this is not a fix for 2026 or 27 or the Olympics in 28 or even 2029. We don't even get the first of these apparently until 2030. And so in the meantime, we've got an agency that is just hemorrhaging ridership. And the question isn't, do we take the tier 2s offline? Okay, let's keep using them because we're going to have to keep using them anyway. We're not swapping them out tomorrow for these engines. We need to question fundamentally whether we should do such a significant capital improvement over such a long period of time to an agency who's not, to me anyway, demonstrated financial stability over that long term. I do believe Metrolink is probably too big to fail, and ultimately governments around this region are going to throw more money at it to keep it going. But it's not right now a sustainable model. Why throw all of this in today for a fix to problems that we don't even know exist because they don't come online until 2030? I think this is a thank you, but no today. And let's see that Metrolink is sustainable in 2030, 31, 32, when all of these engines come online. I'd urge a no vote.
Okay, thank you. Next will be Larry McCallum.
Thank you very much. As a member of AQMD and as a member of the Metrolink board and past president, the agency was formed by the transportation authorities. Everyone knew at the time that when it was formed that the agencies were going to have to pony up money to keep it going because the fare box recovery rate very high, 45%, 50%. But COVID came along, we had reduced ridership, and we have been trying to recover that ever since. We have made tremendous strides in growth of our ridership. We have changed our model of not just commuter, but we're supporting daytime activities, et cetera, and increasing our ridership. And I believe we will recover quickly. And it doesn't make sense to me to turn down grant money that's being provided to clean the air around the Metrolink tracks, because diesel particulate matter, PM 2.5, is a definite health hazard to people. In addition to that, it aggravates the ozone, increases ozone, which aggravates chronic lung diseases. So it's very important for the health of our community to have these Tier 4 engines. And I can't believe that we're talking about the sustainability of Metrolink around a grant money that we ought to be accepting. So all of the agencies, the transportation agencies, including OCTA, have supported the budgets that we put together, and they've supported our capital improvements. So I don't understand the negative comments that I've been hearing. And I certainly support this, and I would expect all of my colleagues to do the same.
All right, thank you. Next will be from online, Carol Moore. I think you're still muted.
I have a I couldn't unmute myself and I had to find where you did it. Sorry. I have a question. It has to do with the oils itself. Diesel definitely is, we know about the particulate, that definitely is a problem. My question has to do with, number one, how do they obtain the animal fats, where they come from? And the second one is a comparison of the difference in emission problems between the two, the amount of reduction. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So there are designated renewable diesel fuel suppliers, and they obtain these natural fats and animal fats and natural vegetable oils from a number of sources. And then they refine them in a similar manner to how diesel is refined. So there's, lubricants and et cetera that are put into the manufacturing process so that it operates and acts just like a diesel fuel. So there's no issue with sediment or any other contaminants with the engine, and it performs just like diesel. They get them from a variety of sources. There are, farms that specifically have soy and corn crops for this fuel. And then it's a global market actually of other refineries and suppliers in the renewable diesel space. And then as far as the comparison, it's a bit specific and scientific when I go in and talk to, or drill down to each specific engine type, the tier 2 versus tier 4. But a tier 4 engine already is built to filter out the maximum amount of criteria pollutants and particulate matter that it can. So it's the cleanest burning. And that's why it's really important that even though we're operating our tier 2s with this clean, renewable fuel, it's not fossil fuel product. It's still important. We could do even better by replacing it with a tier 4 engine, and more particulate matter and criteria pollutants would be filtered out. So that's why this grant is very important, and why we really need to do better and replace the rest of the tier 2s in our fleet.
Thank you. Next is Ara Najarian.
Please. Okay. Hi, everyone. Long-time listener, first-time speaker. Let's keep this all in perspective. I'm a little dismayed that the discussion has veered off seemingly to a referendum on Metrolink. And I'm happy to see so many of the Metrolink board members from across the 5-county region, Mr. Vargas, just to name a few, Ray McAllen. I'm a former chair of Metrolink. I'm a former 2-time chair of LA Metro. This money is coming from the CTC, and the point is to provide cleaner equipment. So our communities, all our communities, have cleaner air and less incidents of air pollution, lung disease, and other illnesses. Hey, if we don't want this money, I'm sure Caltrain and all the folks in the Bay Area would love to take it. I mean, they would love to see this money go up there, but I think it would be a huge mistake to do so. The Metrolink board works very hard and diligently to deal with these transportation issues in an economy in a region that is growing. We're providing great service to students. We have had a great student success plan with the Adventure Pass. weekend trips are now being taken. And LA Metro, I might add, is funding and contributing about 50% of all the contributions from the local agencies. LA Metro has no qualms at all in terms of continuing the funding, continuing to make Metrolink a very viable alternative to the single occupancy vehicle, especially now important as we get towards the Olympics and Metrolink is tapped as one of the key transportation partners. So I don't mean to rant, but I guess this is why I've been monitoring these meetings all along and not speaking, because unless you understand Metrolink through your own county transportation agencies and through your representatives, this should be a unanimous vote, as Larry McCallum said. Thank you.
Thank you. Next online will be ZLA here. And I think you need to turn your camera on.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you. I would just like to say from my own perspective, I think there are 4 reasons as to why we have low ridership. And I think perhaps even if this passes, we need to look at campaigning or increasing the perception in a more positive way for ridership. I think accessibility, affordability is up there, but service reliability is an issue. And along with that, the perception of safety and just the cleanliness of it all is still fragmented among the population, especially the youth. And that is why people tend to rely on traditional car and Uber and other methods. So if we can focus or gain some kind of data as to how we can target the population to, rethink their commute and find ways or strategize to have it be more friendly, I guess, or the option that is much more feasible, whether we campaign it in a more environmental friendly way, a fair incentive way, or just have it, so that they're not like, I want to go to the Dodgers game and there's no reliable timing that I can take the metro, or it's too difficult, or, what have you. So just if we can put money towards campaigning for, increasing ridership, that would be something that I would like to look to for us to invest in, rather than arguing on making it more clean in terms of tools and equipment. So yeah, thank you. And also to Mr. Najarian, thank you for clarifying all that the Metrolink has done.
Thank you. Next, Phil Becerra.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I want to congratulate Metrolink on receiving this award. I mean, statewide competitive grants are absolutely difficult to receive. So congratulations on that. I think it's a good thing that we're receiving this grant. I think what it would accomplish is a good thing, but I don't want to overlook what some of my colleagues have brought up in regards to the financial stability. The item before us today is accepting free state money. That's usually a good thing. The one thing I would ask, though, before I say we should support this, is there a local match in order to receive this grant?
We have the member agencies match, yes.
And how much is that?
The 10.7.
10.7?
Yeah.
So we're committing 10.7 to get this money.
Yes, with a couple other grants as well. So it was the AQMD, the Solutions for Justice Corridor.
No, I understand. Yeah. So there's a total amount. We're getting a grant from the state. But what I'm asking for, and typically when it comes to competitive funding, usually the jurisdiction or the agency commits a local match. What's that local match?
I'll let my grants person give you the answer.
Hi, for the record, Jennifer Freen is Interim Director of Grants at Metrolink. So yes, it is our local agencies. Our member agencies have provided 10.7 million, and it's a makeup
Could you
of
speak into the microphone, please?
It's made up of federal, state, and local. So we have a combination of like FTA funds, and then there's also some other state programs that they've committed, as well as their own local funds.
So what I'm asking, how much is Metrolink putting in?
Well, our member agencies the way that works through the JPA, they're the ones that provide. We don't have our own funds.
So when you guys submitted the application, right?
Yes.
The money's not going to the member agencies, it's going to Metrolink.
Yes.
So how much did Metrolink say that they would commit, even if it was on behalf of their member agencies? How much of a local grant or a local match did Metrolink commit to get this grant?
10.7 million.
10.7
Yes.
million. And the award amount was how much?
52.6 million.
Not a bad rate of return. I don't know. I'm not a mathematician, but that sounds pretty good. So,
Yes.
but that's why I wanted to understand just simply how much we're putting in or how much Metrolink is putting in order to get a certain amount back.
Yes. But that was also with the assuming the AQMD funding as well.
Assuming
Because if you noted on the slide, it said contingent. So we're working with that agency, and Director McCallan is doing a great effort. Thank you, helping us to see with AQMD how much of that award is available, since it was a contingent award.
so, and there's no way we can wait until we know for sure that AQMD is going to come through.
With the timing, we're just we're kind of working both avenues at the same time.
But that's not what I'm asking. I'm saying, can we wait until AQMD is certain, a certainty?
No.
We cannot.
There are particular timeframes specific to the California Transportation Commission process. This is Annie Nam, I'm Deputy Director of Transportation here at SCAG. We partnered with Metrolink on behalf of Metrolink for this grant due to eligibility requirements. MPOs are eligible. And so we've been working with Metrolink as well as the member organizations to ensure that we can get this grant. But as I indicated, there are time constraints through the state process. And so we needed to ensure that all the match requirements, at least to the extent that they are contingent, that kind of information is relayed to the awarding to the California Transportation Commission. And so it's an ongoing process. There's a baseline agreement that needs to be essentially signed by all the parties involved. And so we are quickly trying to go through the process as much as possible.
Well, and thank you for that clarification. And thank God you're partnering with Metrolink, because Metrolink obviously was not quick on their feet to be able to answer that. From what I'm hearing right now, it definitely gives me pause, and I see why my colleagues are expressing frustration when it comes to Metrolink's financial situation. But at the end of the day, I'm going to end up supporting this item because I'm not going to turn away free state money, number one. And number two, long-term, we need a viable regional rail operation. And the fact that it is going in a direction where it's going to become more environmentally sustainable, of course, we want to support that. But I do sympathize, or I with my colleagues here. Yeah, there are some concerns I have when it comes to the financial viability. We need to make sure that this is beyond the Olympics. This is something that we're not just running a sprint to the Olympics. This should be something that we're looking at the system to go well beyond the Olympics, well beyond. So I will be supporting the item, but I do understand the frustrations from some of my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you. Next will be Marcia McLean.
Okay, there we go. Please excuse me, I was a little bit late to the meeting, but what I heard was no ridership on Metrolink and concern about people not riding Metrolink. Well, I'm the president of the North County Transportation Coalition, JPA. I'm also the president of the Transportation Committee for the San Fernando Valley COG. I have to tell you, I don't know where this no ridership comes from. When you look at the details of the ridership, it's continuously going upwards from when COVID had it go down. And the Antelope Valley line, which services the North County from Lancaster clear into the city of Los Angeles, is continuously going up. And I hear from riders all the time, they want more trains in order to be able to use Metrolink for late night, for commuting. If you live in Lancaster and you have to commute to your work, you want more Metrolink trains. And this money is a good thing. When the AQMD and a state organization says, yes, let's provide a grant so that we can provide better transportation, any investment, any funds is an investment into the future for California. Metrolink is the only game in town at the moment for people that need to ride the rails. So I'm very disappointed when I'm hearing no ridership and can't support this, when it's not costing anybody except the member agencies that feel like this is a good thing, matching funds. Like I said, I'm just totally disappointed that I even hear those words with no ridership and let's not take the money. Sorry, but I feel very strongly about this, that we need to vote yes on this.
Thank you. Linda Molina.
Thank you so much. As a Los Angeles-born resident and now living in Riverside County and a member of RCTC and Metrolink Board, our agencies work so hard at collaborating for all modes of transportation, which is the funding success at the state level and the national level, multimodal, buses, trains, any way that we can get people out of their cars and off the freeways. And it just seems that we're forced to build, cities are forced to build all these homes, and we're anticipating ridership. We shouldn't be looking at decreasing any mode of transportation. And it frustrates me that, we work so hard at getting students, from colleges, we work so hard at offering programs to get them on public transportation. And it just seems to me that it's wasted energy to take away anything when we're trying to build up to keep up with the growth of here in Southern California and Riverside County, where most people are moving out to. And we're very large out there. We're growing fast, and we need to have all this. And so I'm in total success of all modes of transportation, and had to speak my mind. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next is going to be Brian Bergson. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now? Are you able to hear me? It said.
Go ahead.
Can I be heard or not? Okay. I just wanted to jump in. I appreciate all of my counter colleagues on Metrolink. I also serve as a Metrolink board member and have been for many years. I'm currently its vice chair. And this conversation is just disturbing in 20 different ways. Trying to pinpoint that Metrolink is not going to be around, it's not sustainable. Well, I can tell you, at least from, I sit on Riverside County Transportation Commission, who is one of the 5-member agencies. You've already heard from Ara Najarian from LA Metro, who also stands by his comments that, just like LA Metro, RCTC is fully supporting and is not willing to let Metrolink go away in any way, shape, or form. A couple of things I did want to point out, just for those who don't know. After the pandemic, the ridership did drop, but it dropped everywhere. For regular buses, Metrolink, all train systems, our sister agencies throughout the United States also dropped. We were, I think, around 40% of our ridership after the pandemic. We're up over 60% now, so we have had a steady climb. And in the last year, we had the Student Adventure Pass that Ara Najarian had mentioned. That brought in over 1 million new riders for all students throughout the Southern California area that were able to participate in free rides through some grant funds that we had. Also, the Tier 4s, Metrolink was the first one to bring in Tier 4 lowest emission trains. And also, Metrolink was the first to bring in renewable diesel fuel of all train agencies that operate the same type of train system. So Metrolink not only is on the cutting edge, it is super important for our community with like 550 miles of rail. It gets people from San Diego County up to Ventura County and all the way to the Antelope Valley, and all places in between. It's a very major network that people are utilizing and will continue. And we, as board members at Metrolink, are always looking for a better opportunity. And I'll remind everybody of the other thing. Prior to the pandemic, we had 40-hour-a-week, Monday through Friday, 9-to-5ers. That was the 80% of the people that rode Metrolink were going to work and coming back from work. Now that has dropped down because of working at home and all the changes since the pandemic. We are now seeing many more riders, a much larger percentage riding on the weekends for social getaways, whether it's going to a baseball game or some major sporting event. There are a new group of passengers that we're starting to cater to and look at what their needs are so that we can offer those services and get even more people on the train and off of our freeways. I fully, absolutely support this 100%, that we need to get these funds and continue the successful venture that Metrolink is bringing to the Southern California area, and know that the 5-member agencies are firmly, strongly ready and able to fund and keep Metrolink moving people throughout our region. So thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Next will be Jan Harnick.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm speaking now as the representative from RCTC to SCAG. And I have to ask a couple questions. Does anybody here think that public transportation and public investment in many projects is a profit center? Because it's not. It serves the people, it serves the greater good. We invest in parks, we invest in public safety, we invest in freeways, and we are not looking for a financial return on that investment. We are serving the people so that they can go about in their lives, do their jobs, take care of their families, their employment, their education. That's what this is about today. So for us to even question if we should take almost $53 million to serve the public in a better fashion while addressing some of the issues we deal with particulate matter is unfathomable to me. I urge you all to vote yes to serve the public. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last speaker is going to be John Dutre.
Yes, thank you very much. I think there's at least 8 members in this room that serve on the Metrolink board, and probably 2 or 3 more on Zoom. What I suggest, I think what needs to happen here, there needs to be some education. So I want to suggest at a future transit committee that we invite Metrolink to come in, do a PowerPoint presentation, explain, where we were, where we're going, all the things just brought up, and also talk about the optimized service that started last October. So with that, I'm going to move for approval of the PC staff recommendation.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Did you get the names?
Have my feet up. You don't want to call me.
All right.
You're so close to me.
Mr. Chair, I have a question on the motion. Does that include having the presentation come back to us at a, okay, then I'll support it.
Well,
Thank you.
We've noted it. Thank you. Are you ready? Go ahead.
Zeal Ahir,
Public comment.
Javier Amezcua, Adele Andrade Stadler, Phil Bossera,
Yes.
Ryan Bayless,
Bayless, yes.
Brian Bergson,
Yes.
Jeanette Burns, Denise Delgado,
Yes.
John Dutre, Bubba Fish,
Yes.
John Kevin, Jason Gibb,
Yes.
William Go,
Yes.
Kurt Hagman, Jan Harnett,
Yes.
Laura Hernandez,
Yes.
Lauren Hughes Leslie,
Hughes Leslie, I.
Thank you. Received. Heather Hutt. Mike Judge.
Judge, yes.
Fred Jung. Trish Kelly.
Yes.
Fred Jung, no.
Thank you. Received for Jung. Lyman.
Kleiman, no.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Received for Kleiman. Linda Krupa.
Yes.
Andrew Laura. Carlos Leon. Bridget Lewis. Richard Loa. Thank you. Steve Manos.
Aye.
Ray Marcus.
Yes.
Larry McAllen.
Yes.
Marcia McLean.
Yes.
Tim McOsker. Linda Molina.
Strong yes.
Carol Moore.
Carol Moore, aye.
Suzette Mullins.
Yes.
Juan Munoz Guevara.
Yes.
Ara Najarian.
Yes.
Frank Navarro.
Yes.
Nikki Perez.
Yes.
David Reddy.
Yes.
Gil Rebelar.
You know, as an Imperial Valley resident, it was interesting to watch this conversation among you Angelinos and San Bernardinians and Riversideans. So with that being said, I vote yes.
Thank you. Ed Reese.
Yes.
Gabrielle Reyes.
Reyes, aye.
Received. Crystal Ruiz.
Yes.
Thank you. Received. Ali Saleh.
Saleh is a yes.
Steve Sanchez.
Sanchez, aye.
Tim Sandoval.
Yes.
Jackson Wang.
Yes.
Emma Sharif.
Sharif is yes.
Thank you. Assam Sheikh. Lee Siminoff.
Yes.
Jeremy Smith.
Yes. Jeremy Smith is yes.
Steve Ward Smith.
Yes.
Hilda Solis. Wes Speak.
Aye.
Karen Spiegel.
Yes.
Cynthia Sternquist.
Yes.
Butch Twining.
Yes.
Steve Ty.
Yes.
Bill Up.
Yes.
Michael Vargas.
Disturbing conversation, a big yes, thank you.
Scott Boyd. Donald Wagner. Holly Wallace.
Yes. Whoop whoop.
Alan Wapner. Thomas Wong.
Yes.
Sen Wu. Mr. Chair, the motion passes 48 in favor and 4 against.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the lively discussion and polite discussion. We're going to move on to number 9. What we're going to do now is do number 9 and 10 in sequence and then vote at the end, but we'll still do the motions for both. So I'd like to call on Stephanie Chin, our Senior Regional Planner for SCAG.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the TC. My name is Stephanie Chin, and I'm a Senior Regional Planner here at SCAG on the FTIP team. So I'm here today to present to you the 2027 Federal Transportation Improvement Program, or FTIP guidelines. And today I just wanted to give you a bit of an overview of the FTIP. And kind of put it in context with some of the other work that is going on at SCAG. So, what is the FTIP? Essentially, the FTIP is a list of transportation projects in our region that receive federal funding or are regionally significant from an air quality standpoint. The FTIP is multimodal in nature. And as the MPO, it's SCAG's responsibility
to develop it and get it approved by the federal agencies and Caltrans. And then lastly, the FTIP covers 4 years of funding, but we adopt a new one every 2 years. This slide has a lot of information on it, but I'm just gonna break it down a little bit at a time. The arrows on top are the general timeline for 2027 FTIP development. So that first arrow there is where we are today with the 2027 FTIP guidelines. The second half or the first half of next year brings us to the blue arrow, which is when we'll receive the County Transportation Commission's portions of the FTIP, and they'll send it to us and we'll review it and get it ready. Next summer, we'll come to you with a draft 2027 FTIP to release for public review. And then finally, that last arrow is FTIP approval at the end of next year. Usually federal approval takes place mid-December of even numbered years. The call out boxes on the bottom are things that are just going on that we wanted to have on your radar because they do affect, or they can affect the FTIP. So we just wanted to bring them to your attention. So the first call out box, as you know, where the STBG CMAT call for projects is going on now, and projects are being evaluated. When those projects come back, or when the projects are selected and come back to you, I think at the next meeting, when they're approved, at that time, the County Transportation Commission will need to enter those projects into the FTIP according to the guidelines that you approved today. The second call out box just mentions the transportation conformity lockdown that we're currently in, which means that there can be no new conformity determinations right now. I think there's more information about that in item 2 of your agenda, but we're hopeful that this will be resolved prior to FTIP approval and won't have an effect on our timeline. The third call out box, it's our practice to have an amendment to the RTP SCS at the same time as the FTIP adoption. So this one will be to Connect SoCal 2024. It'll be amendment number 2, and those will come to you at the same time and both be released for public review concurrently next summer. And then lastly, when the 2027 FTIP is approved, that will replace our current 2025 FTIP, and we'll have a new conformity determination, and all the projects that were programmed in the 2027 FTIP can move forward and get their funding. So that brings us back to where we are today, the 2027 FTIP guidelines. This is the first step in that whole process. We've been working with our transportation commissions, with Caltrans, the federal agencies, and TCWG to just make sure that we meet all the requirements we need to so that the projects that are in there can get out smoothly. And then once the guidelines are approved, that's when, or this is what the county transportation commissions will use to add those projects to our FTIP. And we just want everything to meet all the requirements so that, you know, these projects can go ahead and get their funding. This slide goes over the updates that we've made to the guidelines as compared to 2025. They're a little in the weeds. A lot of them are just clarifications or additional details that we've added. But we have clarified SCAG's equity approach in the FTIP, just mentioning that it is in compliance with Title VI. And we did update the instructions for our financial plan to reflect SCAG's role in the selection of projects in the call for projects for STBG and CMAC. So that brings us to today's recommended action here. And that's it. We're here to answer any questions if you have any. Thanks.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Do we have any members of the public who wish to speak on this item? All right, I'll move on to members of the Transportation Committee. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, we'll move on. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead. Sorry. Linda Molina.
It's me talking again. Thank you. RCTC advanced 17 great projects from Riverside County for funding for STBG and CMAC, and we hope to see those in the 27 FTIP. Please, thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to go with Supervisor Spiegel.
One thing that we should be addressing as an organization is that the FTIP amendments are outdated. 20 million doesn't go very far. That threshold's kind of low. So raising the threshold could reduce some of the red tape and speed up some of the approvals. It was mentioned earlier about the matching and all the other things, but the process has so many red tape pieces to it. And too many formal amendments slow the projects down. It delays everything, and updating the threshold will help streamline the process. And then it's the impact on local projects. Riverside County is shovel-ready projects waiting for the opportunity of these types of things with like the FTIP and other various funding. All of us should have those in the pipeline. So when money's out there, we can jump. And we just need the final CMAC dollars to move it forward. Getting these projects out quickly boosts the jobs, local economy, and other things. So as it was mentioned by my colleague, Linda Molina, we do have about 17 or 18 proposed FTIP guidelines and projects that are ready. And we're just hoping that we as SCAG can get these approved and be ahead of the game. Thank you.
Thank you. Frank Navarro. Put his hand down.
No, that's okay. Put my hand down. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Linda Krupa.
Thank you. Just want to join my colleagues from Riverside County in talking about some of these points and to bring up road safety and equity in the disadvantaged communities. In a lot of smaller communities in Riverside County, definitely disadvantaged and have narrow roads. And in that, the safety, just the widening roads would be a benefit. And I hope these things can be included in and as a reminder that this is very important. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll just address really quick the supervisor's comment on the $20 million threshold. I think that's referring to our administrative modification threshold. Projects that are less than that amount can kind of move through and be approved more quickly. And that is something that we share your concern. It's a Caltrans policy, but we have brought it up to them and we'll continue to talk to them about that.
Thank you. All right. No more hands up. No more cards up. Thank you very much for your presence.
Thank you.
Associate Regional Planner for SCAG.
I make a motion to accept the action. Oh, this is the file and receive? No? Oh, you still up too? Oh, okay, my bad.
We're going to take both of these last two together. So, because they're both being recommended, whether you recommend them to go to Regional Council.
Good morning, Transportation Committee. So as mentioned, I'm Ryan Laws. I work with the Goods Movement and Aviation Business Unit. So what I'm going to be talking about today is a last mile freight program rebate opportunity that's becoming available through SCAG. The specific request is that the TC recommend approval by RC for our program announcement and application checklist, which is attached to the staff report.
I'll move item 9 and 10.
Yeah. But to start things off, to give a little bit of background first. So we
tried.
Unless you want me to stop, because I could, but The rebate opportunity is a part of South Coast Air Quality Management District's Invest Clean program opportunity. It's being developed in partnership with AQMD. In July 2024, the US EPA awarded AQMD a climate pollution reduction grant amounting to nearly $500 million. So $51.5 million of that will be going toward this rebate program. Note that 50 million of that would be going toward rebates specifically, and 1.5 would be coming to SCAG to help administer this program. Now, a bit more on really what we'll be doing. So it's focused on Class 4 and Class 5 battery electric vehicle technology. SCAG is tasked with developing an implementation plan and program announcement, also including stakeholder engagement, outreach to public agencies, industry, and local communities. And we're also requiring that there is vehicle replacement through the scrappage of diesel vehicles that are currently out on the roads. So there is a replacement component, not only in terms of getting new vehicles in, but also getting current diesel emitting vehicles out. So to talk a little bit about the eligibility requirements here, of course, it has to be Class 4 and Class 5, and operators need to be fleet owners or managers operating out of Orange, Los Angeles, Riverside, or San Bernardino counties. The diesel vehicles being leveraged for replacement can actually be Class 4, 5, or 6 in the event that they're being replaced by a new battery electric vehicle. But that's with the caveat that we also have an option to convert vehicles. So it's possible for somebody to bring an existing diesel vehicle to an equipment manufacturer and basically have the engine and supportive equipment within the vehicle swapped with battery electric technology instead. Now, in that case, it needs to be a Class 4 or 5, so Class 6 isn't really an option there. And the rebates are each $67,000 per new vehicle or vehicle conversion. So where we are now, this one is kind of a reminder, but in April, Regional Council approved the acceptance of EPA's funding for this effort. Staff has developed the program announcement application checklist, which of course are attached to the staff report here. And a program announcement is set to go out at the end of this month. SCAG is also developing a memorandum of understanding template that is meant to be signed by program participants. We're currently working with AQMD to also further develop the implementation plan, which is due at the end of October. And an agreement with AQMD is also being developed and will need to be completed before the end of this month to be in compliance with also the program announcement deadline. So the recommended action is as follows, and it's a mouthful. That Transportation Committee recommend that the Regional Council approve the Last Mile Freight Program Measure 2.2 Invest Clean Rebate Program Announcement and Application Checklist, allowing SCAG to proceed with releasing the program announcement, including collection of applications and selection of participants for the program. This is all pending the execution of an agreement with AQMD. So that is the end of my presentation. I will now take questions.
Thank you. Do we have any public comments or questions? All right, no hands are raised. Do we have any members of the Transportation Committee want to comment? All right, having none, we already have a motion and a second for both of these items. Thank you very much for your presentation. I will call for the vote.
Thank you.
Zia Lahir, Javier Amescua, Adele Andrade Stadler, Phil Becerra.
Yes.
Ryan Bayless, Brian Berkson, Jeanette Burns, Denise Delgado, John Dutray, Bubba Fish.
Yes.
John, thank you. John Gabbard.
Yes.
Jason Gibbs. William.
Yes.
Thank you. Received for Gibbs. William Go.
Yes.
Thank you. Bert Hagman. Jan Harnick.
Yes.
Laura Hernandez.
Yes.
Lauren Hughes Leslie. Heather Hutt.
Yes.
Mike Judge.
Yes.
Fred Jung.
Fred Jung, aye.
Trish Kelly.
Yes.
Lauren Kleiman.
Yes.
Linda Krupa.
Yes.
Andrew Laura. Carlos Leon. Bridget Lewis. Richard Loa. Clint Lowermore.
Aye.
Steve Mono.
Aye.
Ray Marquez.
Yes.
Larry McAllen.
Yes.
Marcia McLean.
Yes.
Tim McOsker. Linda Molina.
Yes.
Carol Moore.
Carol Moore, aye for both.
Thank you. Suzette Mullins.
Yes.
Juan Munoz Guevara.
Yes.
Ara Najarian.
Yes.
Frank Navarro.
Yes.
Nikki Perez.
Yes.
Thank you.
And sorry, that's a yes for Denise Delgado. Thank you.
Thank you. David Reddy.
Yes.
Gil Rebolard.
Yes.
Ed Reese.
Yes.
Gabriel Reyes.
Reyes, aye.
Crystal Ruiz. Ali Saleh.
Yes.
Pete Sanchez.
Aye.
Tim Sandoval.
Yes.
Zach Schwank.
Yes.
Emma Sharif.
Sharif, yes.
Assam Sheikh. Marty Siminoff.
Yes.
Jeremy Smith.
Aye.
Ward Smith.
Yes.
Hilda Solis. Wes Speak.
Aye.
Karen- Thank you. Karen Spiegel.
Spiegel, yes.
Cynthia Sternquist.
Yes.
Butch Twining.
Yes.
Steve Ty.
Yes.
Bill Uphoff.
Yes.
Michael Vargas.
Yes.
Scott Voits. Donald Wagner.
Aye.
Colleen Wallace.
Yes.
Alan Walkner.
Yes.
Thomas Wong.
Yes.
Zen Wu. Mr. Chair, the motion for items 9 and 10 are approved with the 50 in favor and 0 against.
Thank you very much for that. I'm going to move on to information items now. Number 11, we'll be calling on Annie Nam, Deputy Director of SCAG.
Good morning. In the interest of time, I'll be brief here. I'm just going to provide an overview of our Transportation Committee outlook for fiscal year 2026, which essentially reflects the outcomes of the 2025 Executive Administration Committee retreat. Before I go into details on the outlook itself, though, I do want to point out that we've included as part of the agenda packet, and what you see here as shown on the slide here is basically the information on the purview of each of the policy committee. And I'm not going to read through them all, but just want to highlight the scope of the Transportation Committee, obviously focus more broadly on surface transportation, including transportation system preservation and system management, regional aviation, regional goods movement, transportation finance, as well as transportation control measures. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. And again, I'm just going to quickly go through the agenda here. September obviously reflects today's agenda, including the key action items that we just got through, the Solutions for Congested Corridors grant, the FTIP guidelines, and the last mile freight program rebate program. Following my overview here, we're going to have a Main Street study presentation as well. And just given the conversation earlier, I hear you loud and clear. I think we will have a MetroLink item as a part of the upcoming agenda items moving forward. In October, we are dark across all the policy committees as well as RC, and then we'll reconvene in November with some key actions on CMAQ, SDBG, call for project recommendations. You heard about it earlier. We'll actually be coming forward with staff recommendations in November. Along with that will be the administrative policies for CMAQ and SDBG. And we'll also have some updates on Connect SoCal implementation, as well as regional pilot initiatives and our REAP 2.0 CTC partnership program. In December, we'll be convening as a joint policy committee, focusing our meeting on our economic update. And this is essentially in lieu of our economic summit that we had historically held. Next slide. So we are dark again in January, and then we reconvene in February with an update on our games-related transportation initiatives, including our passenger and freight TDM work, as well as our quick build and open streets projects. We'll also provide some updates on our smart cities work that we'll be launching this year, along with a few other grant-funded projects. We'll have another joint policy committee in March focused on jumpstarting our Connect SoCal update process. And then in April and June, some additional updates on work that staff is kicking off in support of the development of Connect SoCal, including a number of regional freight studies. And so please keep in mind that the topics here may change, and they're really based upon speaker availability, as well as the timing of the target studies that we have underway. This is essentially a rough indication of the kinds of topics that we hope to cover in the coming year. Also note that we've highlighted two of the presidential priorities for this fiscal year in the outlook that is germane to the Transportation Committee, and they namely include clean transportation technology, and they've got an asterisk next to the item, as well as regional planning for the games. And with that, that concludes my overview, and I'll be happy to take any questions. And again, if there are interest in particular items, you can forward them to myself, and I will consult with both the chair and the vice chair to get it on the agenda.
Thank you. Are there any public comments or members of the public who wish to speak on this item? Nothing? All right. Any members of the Transportation Committee have any questions for Annie? All right, seeing none, thank you very much for that presentation. I'm going to move on to item number 12, planning for main streets. And I'm going to call on Rachel Senior Regional Planner.
All righty. Good morning, committee members. Thank you so much for having me here today. Again, my name is Rachel So I'm not here to talk about the active transportation program, but I will certainly be back for those future topics. But I'm excited to share about a project that we recently kicked off called Planning for Main Streets. So starting with how we got here, what's the foundation for this effort? In the fall of 2023, Caltrans published the latest update to their Main Street Guide. And this is a guide that highlights the special importance of state highways, where they are not only carrying vehicular traffic, but they're also functioning as community main streets. So this guide is available online. Definitely encourage you to check it out. But there are 5 guiding principles that shape this guide. So ultimately, this guide is looking to how can we foster people-centered streets? And some key elements of that are improving safety and public health, elevating equity and livability, advancing sustainability and climate action, and strengthening partnerships and engagement. So certainly a lot of alignment and synergy with what we're trying to accomplish through Connect SoCal. So we've been talking a lot about funding. So here's another one where SCAG took the opportunity to apply for a sustainable transportation planning grant. We specifically submitted an application for the strategic partnerships category of this grant. And what that project category does, it's partnering with Caltrans to really focus on the issues, challenges, and opportunities of the state highway system. So that's where you're really seeing that focus on state highways for this effort. So the Planning for Main Streets project, it's ultimately a planning study. We're doing existing conditions analysis, extensive community engagement, and those efforts will inform project recommendations that will look to enhance accessibility, safety, and sustainability for multimodal travel for 4 corridors across our region. And really our goal here is that in partnering with Caltrans and the local jurisdictions, we can help set them up for implementation, whether it's through applying for more grants or incorporation into work plans such as the SHOP program or CIPs. So to develop this project, we went through a collaborative process, as coordination and collaboration is really a key element of this work. And so we started off with a prioritization framework to identify corridors that reflect the Sustainable Transportation Planning Grant objectives. And so some considerations here, we're looking at the Caltrans district's active transportation plans. You know, what are the top tier 1 or priority corridors that have been identified in that effort? Also looking at what are the corridors that intersect with our SCAG priority equity communities, and also looking at alignment with the local or regional high injury networks. So we came up with a list of potential corridors here, and then we reached out to Caltrans headquarters and our districts 7, 8, 11, and 12, so within our region, to introduce this project proposal and get a sense if there might be interest to partner on this effort. Fortunately, Caltrans and the headquarters and districts were really interested in this effort. And so we had further meetings with each district to talk about the corridors, what are some priorities that the districts may have for these state highways, what are some ongoing efforts that they want to highlight, and really ultimately, what are the corridors that would really be suitable at this time to align with each district's ongoing and upcoming efforts. So once we kind of had a short list there, we then went through additional engagement to reach out to the local jurisdictions, as these state highways are not standalone, but they're passing through jurisdictions, local cities where there are further opportunities for partnership. And so through these additional engagement meetings, we took the local cities' feedback, and all of that engagement informed our grant scope, which we then submitted and were fortunately funded. So just a brief overview of our study here. So we have identified 4 Main Street corridors across our region, so 1 per Caltrans district. And these corridors reflect a few key characteristics. So definitely looking to have geographic spread across our very vast region, and looking to have diverse land use contexts. So you'll see we've got a mix of suburban, urban, and rural contexts, but also there are a variety of land uses such as residential and commercial along these corridors. We also have corridors that are really facilitating multi-jurisdictional partnerships and collaboration, and also will be supporting ongoing or upcoming efforts, really looking to leverage ongoing planning or future planning with this effort. And as you may know, we've got a big region, so these are not just the only corridors that are eligible or need study. And so the goal is that these corridors would serve as an example for other studies in the region. So going through our 4 corridors, starting off with Pacific Coast Highway, this is State Route 1. It spans the orange or yellowish section of the map, and you'll see that on each slide here. So we're partnering with the city of Lomita, Long Beach, and Los Angeles to study Pacific Coast Highway. And we have transportation partners of Caltrans District 7, of course, Metro, LADOT, Long Beach Transit, Torrance Transit, and G-Trans. Next, we have Waterman Avenue. This is State Route 18. It's kind of in the northern portion of the city of San Bernardino, so that's our local partner here. And our transportation partners are Caltrans District 8 and SBCTA. Then moving over to District 11, we have State Route 86. This is an interesting corridor that kind of loops around, but it goes through Main Street, First Street, and Brawley Avenue. So again, our local partner is the city of Brawley. and our transportation partners are Caltrans District 11, ICTC, and Imperial Valley Transit. And then finally, we have Beach Boulevard, that's State Route 39 in Orange County, or Caltrans District 12. And this is going through the cities of Stanton and Westminster. So that's our local partners, and our transportation partners are Caltrans District 12 and OCTA. So wanted to briefly go over our project timeline here. So we just kicked off. This is pretty fresh, kicked off in June of this year, and we have a 2-year time period. So we'll be wrapping up in June 2027. As I noted, engagement is really a critical and key foundation and ongoing component of this project. So we've got a lot of engagement activities with our jurisdictions, with the districts, and our community members. So we have community advisory committees for each corridor. So that's comprised of community members and community-based organizations. We have a technical advisory committee comprised of technical experts like city planners, engineers, and emergency services to really look at that technical component of our project recommendations. And we'll also have broader community events such as walk audits, surveys, and community workshops. And so we have on the slide here, we've got a graphic with the schedule. So right now, after kickoff, we went immediately into understanding the existing conditions, and that will then inform our draft conceptual designs, which we anticipate for the winter and spring of next year. And after going through that draft process and getting review there, we'll finalize those concepts and then have a draft and final report between the winter and spring of 2027. So that's the second year of this project. And then we'll wrap up. We've got kind of a general term here of board approval, but what that will look like is certainly coming back to this committee to provide updates, but we also have our team coordinating with local jurisdictions and whatever sort of kind of review or approval needed, whether from a commission, council, or committee, we'll be facilitating that with each of our local jurisdictions as well. And overall, across this whole effort, we'll be having continued engagement. And so wanted to share this last slide. We've got a link to a project webpage, freshly updated, and we'll keep it updated with project updates and engagement opportunities. So encourage you to check that out, and also available for any questions today and moving along throughout the project process.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Great report. Do we have any public comments online? All right, I'll open up comment section to the members of the Transportation Committee. And remind people that if you're attending this remotely, but not in a location specified on the agenda, they may observe, but not participate in any discussion of the body. So do we have any hand raised right there? Steve Manos?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I just want a clarification. Is this essentially a process of transitioning a highway to basically the local jurisdictions? It seems to be a focus on bringing people together. Right. Is that what we're looking at here?
So this effort is not to help the cities with relinquishment, which is that process of transferring from Caltrans to local right-of-way. This is to study opportunities to make these corridors more of main streets or being people-centered. So perhaps further down the road, a city may decide they do want to request relinquishment, but this time it's really focused on identify improvements that maybe Caltrans would implement, or they would partner with the local jurisdiction and incorporate those recommendations. So through our kind of corridor identification process, some corridors kind of fell off the list essentially because they either were about to relinquish or they had already relinquished, and then that didn't align with the kind of grant requirements.
Okay. We have Highway 74 that runs through Lake Elsinore downtown area, that also connects with Paris and Hemet, which runs right down their main streets. And there's a lot of conflicts, as you know, between the state and local jurisdictions with respect to maintenance, widening, safety improvements, sidewalks, things of that nature. It's a big hullabaloo. And the reality is that highways are designed in part to convey high volumes of traffic, whereas main streets are not. And so if a highway is running through a main street, it's failed as a highway. I mean, let's be frank here. You may as well begin planning on a relinquishment and a highway that essentially runs around that area if we were doing this right. So I don't know, maybe save you 2 years and I don't know how much money the study, but that's probably what needs to happen in those cases. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and thank
Alan
you,
Wapner.
thank you, Mr. Chair. For Steve and anybody else, we wanted to create a main street in our state highway, and it was just so hard working with Caltrans that we ended up getting legislation to get the road transfer to Ontario. And now we can pretty much do what we want to do.
All right. Do we have any online?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for that report. All right, move on to the chair's report. So today I'd like to welcome Zizette Mullins from the Arroyo Verdugo Communities JPA, Burbank, who transferred in from CEHD committee to the TC committee. Are you here? Online? Yeah. Okay. Let's give her a big round of applause. Welcome. I want to remind everybody the registration is now open for the 2025 SCAG Demographic Workshop on Wednesday, October 1st at 9 a.m. The 36th annual edition of the Demographic Workshop will be held at SCAG's main office here in downtown Los Angeles and with an online attendance option. This year's theme, revisiting the intergenerational contract, aims to create a deeper understanding of how groups in our society rely on one another across generations and between life cycle stages. You can register on SCAG's website. And I'm going to go to the Metrolink report. So Marty Semenoff.
Sure. The Moreno Valley Marchfield Station improvements, Metrolink hosted a ribbon cutting event that celebrated the completion of the station improvements. It was a project led by Riverside County Transportation and in partnership with Metrolink. The new platform went into service on July the 7th, with the ribbon cutting ceremony itself taking place on August 12th. This is also Rail Safety Month, September is, and Metrolink is working with Lausanne and the County Transportation Commissions, leading the outreach and the marketing efforts. And the campaigns are focused on raising awareness around rail safety, including behavior near tracks and crossings, and to increase public awareness of the issues. And then Metrolink also has text and email alerts, and Metrolink has launched this program of Metrolink Alerts, with a new system for delivering real-time service notifications directly to riders via text or email, which can be helpful if you are running late like I was today. And riders can subscribe at metrolinktrains.com/subscribe and select their preferred method of delivery.
Thank you. All right. Now it's time for announcements. Do we have any members of the Transportation Committee wishing to make any announcements for their? Go ahead. Know the name.
Just want to make sure our committee extends some congratulations to our Transportation Committee member and mayor of Burbank, Nikki Perez, who welcomed a new daughter last month, Ixel. And her daughter is now an honorary member of our committee, and she's been intently watching on Zoom. So
Thank you. I appreciate it. We're both here listening intently. We're starting her young, learning about the transportation of our state.
John Dutre.
I just want to say happy birthday to the guy to my right, Tim Sandoval. Tomorrow he turns 55, so we get all the senior discounts, 8 P cards. So yeah, hey, yeah, it's your birthday.
His birthday's tomorrow as well.
Okay.
And he turns 59.
No, 60.
Oh.
All right. We have any other comments in the room? Oh, go ahead, Larry.
Thank you very much. I would like us to close in memory of Deborah Ekarada, who passed away, the wife of Hassan Ekarada.
Yes, we will do that. No, good. All right. With that, we're going to adjourn in memory of Deborah Agrada. Yes, the wife of Hassan, right? Yeah, Hassan Agrada, our former CEO. And thank you all for your participation. It's good to see you all after the long break, and look forward to seeing you in We're going back in November. So we got another break. We'll be back in November. Thanks again for coming and for that lively discussion earlier. We're adjourned.